Hello, little friend. Welcome to Glowing Stories, where gentle stories help you relax, feel safe, and drift into sleep. Snuggle in, take a deep breath, and let tonight's story begin. Have you ever been looking so hard for one special thing that you almost missed all the other treasures around you? Along the gentle shores where the ocean met the sand, where waves rolled in with soft whispers and seabirds sang their songs, there lived a sweet glowling named Pearl. Pearl had a beautiful, soft white glow that shimmered with iridescent colors, like a pearl catching the light and showing hints of pink, blue, and purple all at once. Pearl lived in a cozy cave near the tide pools, and every day she would explore the shore looking for treasures that the ocean brought in with the tide. She loved finding smooth sea glass, pretty shells, interesting driftwood, and shiny pebbles. Her cave was decorated with all her favorite finds. But Pearl had one big dream. More than anything, she wanted to find a perfect pearl, the kind that forms inside oyster shells, the kind that's perfectly round and perfectly beautiful. She had never found one, even though she was named Pearl and searched every single day. If only I could find a real pearl, she would often think, then I would have the most special treasure of all. One morning, Pearl woke up early and decided to search a new part of the beach she had never explored before. The tide was very low, revealing tide pools she had never seen. "Today feels lucky," Pearl said to herself, her white glow shimmering with excitement. "Today might be the day I find my pearl." She set off down the beach, her eyes scanning every inch of sand, looking under every rock, checking every shell. In the first tide pool, Pearl found a beautiful purple sea star, but no pearl. In the second tide pool, she found a piece of blue sea glass worn smooth by the waves, but no pearl. In the third tide pool, she found a perfect spiral shell, but no pearl. Pearl was starting to feel discouraged. She sat down on a rock and sighed, her glow dimming a little. "What's wrong, Pearl?" a gentle voice asked. Pearl looked up and saw a wise old sea turtle swimming in a nearby pool. "Oh, hello," Pearl said. "I'm looking for a pearl, a real pearl from an oyster. I search every day, but I never find one. I feel like I'll never find the treasure I'm looking for." "Tell me, Pearl, what did you find today in your searching?" Pearl thought about it. "Well, I found a beautiful purple sea star, and a piece of sea glass, and a perfect spiral shell." "Those sound like treasures to me," the turtle said. Pearl admitted softly, "They're nice, but they're not what I'm looking for. I want to find a real pearl." "A pearl forms when a tiny grain of sand gets inside an oyster shell. The sand is uncomfortable, even painful for the oyster, so the oyster covers it with layer after layer of smooth, beautiful nacre. Over time, that annoying grain of sand becomes a pearl, something beautiful born from discomfort." Pearl listened carefully. "But here's what many don't realize," the turtle continued. "Every oyster makes a pearl. Most oysters live their whole lives without ever having that uncomfortable grain of sand inside them. They never create a pearl, but they're still living good, happy lives." Pearl said softly, "I never thought about it that way." "You're so focused on finding this one thing, a pearl, that you're not seeing all the treasures you already have. the sea star, the sea glass, the shell. These are all gifts from the ocean. But there are even more treasures around you that you might not be noticing. Pearl looked around, really looked. The morning sun was making the tide pools sparkle. The waves were singing their rhythmic song. Tiny fish were darting through the clear water. A rainbow appeared in the mist from the waves. Seabirds were dancing on the wind. "You have the treasure of this beautiful beach," the turtle said. "The treasure of these magical tide pools. The treasure of the sunrise painting the sky. The treasure of health and the ability to explore. The treasure of each new day." Pearl's glow began to brighten as understanding filled her heart. "And Pearl, you have something many would consider the greatest treasure of all. You have the ability to find joy in searching, to appreciate beauty, and to hope for tomorrow. Those are treasures that no one can take away from you." Pearl felt tears of happiness in her eyes. The turtle was right. She had been so focused on the one thing she didn't have that she had forgotten to be grateful for all the amazing things she did have. "Thank you," Pearl whispered. "I've been looking for treasure when standing in the middle of it all along." Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Remember that, dear Pearl. With that, the turtle swam away, leaving Pearl sitting by the tide pool with a heart that suddenly felt very full. Pearl spent the rest of the morning exploring, but this time was different. Instead of frantically searching for pearls, she took time to appreciate everything she found. She held the purple sea star gently and marveled at its perfect symmetry. She looked at the blue sea glass and thought about its long journey through the ocean to reach her. She listened to the spiral shell and heard the whisper of the ocean inside it. She watched hermit crabs scuttling through the pools. She felt the warm sand between her toes. She breathed in the salty sea air. She watched the waves roll in and out, like the breath of the ocean. Everything suddenly seemed like a treasure. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Pearl walked home to her cave. She looked at all her collections, the shells, the sea glass, the driftwood, the smooth stones, and instead of thinking, "But I don't have a pearl," she thought, "Look at all these treasures I do have." That night, Pearl arranged her treasures in a new way, creating a beautiful display that celebrated each item. She placed the purple sea star in a place of honor, the blue seagrass where it would catch the morning light, and the spiral shell where she could hold it and listen to the ocean's song. As she settled into her bed made of soft seaweed and sea foam, Pearl felt more content than she had in a long time. "I am grateful," she whispered into the peaceful night. "Grateful for this cozy home, grateful for the beautiful beach, grateful for the treasures I find each day, grateful for wise friends like the wise sea turtle, grateful for each moment." Her white iridescent glow pulsed softly, shimmering with all the colors of happiness. And then Pearl realized something that made her smile. Her name was Pearl. She had been searching for a pearl when she was a pearl, a treasure herself, unique and beautiful, with an iridescent glow that no actual pearl could match. With that happy realization, Pearl closed her eyes. Outside, the waves continued their eternal song. The moon rose over the ocean, painting a silver path across the water. and Pearl, surrounded by all her treasures and filled with gratitude, drifted into the most peaceful, sweet sleep, dreaming of tomorrow's adventures and all the everyday treasures she would appreciate with her grateful heart. Dear little one, just like Pearl, you are surrounded by treasures every single day. The warmth of your cozy bed, the love of your family, the memory of a happy moment from your day. Gratitude helps us see all the wonderful things we already have. Tonight, as you drift off to sleep, maybe think of just one small treasure from your day. You are a treasure too, so unique and beautiful and so loved. Sleep now. Dream of all the wonderful treasures that tomorrow will bring. Sweet dreams. Good night.